Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts, like the chart behind me, which is of SoFi Technologies, ticker symbol SOFI. And here I am recording this on Monday, July 1st, after the market has closed. And SoFi closed at a price of $6.43, being down 2.72% on the day and being flat in the after hours. And so I wanted to go over the chart because, I think that there's a possibility that we are forming another bear flag. And I kind of wanted to go over my analysis of a prior bear flag that I had gone over in a video just before earnings. I got a lot of pushback from the community for it. Everybody was saying I was wrong, prices going higher. And in fact, what happened following earnings is price came down, as we can see here. And so I think we're basically forming the same kind of pattern, testing similar or the same level. And yeah, so I think price could be coming down. And that is not to say that I am bearish on the stock or the company of SoFi. I just think that there might be some better dip buying opportunities in the near future. And so I just kind of wanted to put this on the table in case it is helpful for you in, preparing for possible downside. But of course, maybe I'm wrong and maybe we see a breakout in the coming week. So, always good to be prepared for the opposite to happen, of course. But what I saw previously before earnings, which was hit on or held on, I should say, April 29th, when we did see a pretty massive gap down and a continuation, another gap to the downside. What I saw was a pretty big down move over here and then sideways consolidation. So that to me looked like a bear flag. Also within that, I do have this purple line drawn here at $6.97, which were the lows hit on April 2nd and April 16th. And from that horizontal line, you get what looks like a head and shoulders pattern. And very interestingly, just before earnings, the high hit on April 26th was $7.90. So just 4 cents below the top of the head here. Going higher than that would have invalidated the head and shoulders pattern as far as I understand. And, we didn't see that, but we actually saw a gap up in the after hours, or a move higher than $7.94, getting up into the $8 range. But that was in the after hours trading session. Everybody was bullish about it. But what we got was, this breakdown here. And I had, from this head and shoulders pattern, taken a measured move from the top of that head to the neckline to get this vertical line, which comes down to exactly $6. Kind of miraculous how that worked out. But yeah, just $6 also being a psychological level. And so I view that price could be coming down to $6 a share, but maybe, $6.20 that was hit on June 21st, maybe, rounding. That was the $6 a share price, that we hit. And maybe my thesis is complete. It's just not precise. But my thesis is really based upon this blue line that's here at 603, which if we take a step back, we can see actually two blue lines here. One being the gap at 603. We got this gap up here. If I zoom in a little bit to this part, we can see that gap there. It's about a couple cent gap because we did get a wick down to, let's see, a low of $6.10. And so, nearly filled, but not quite. $6.03. And then there's this other more substantial gap down to $5.41, which was the close on May 26th of 2023. And so I view these two gaps as really being like the kind of bottom line for the stock, that if they were to be filled, the chart would look really good. There'd be nothing really drawing price down. And so I'd like to see these gaps filled. But as you can see, it's been more than a year since those gaps were formed, and we have not yet filled them. But I do think that we could be filling them soon, or at least the one at 603. And so my reasoning for that is, if you notice this yellow downtrend, this is based on the high from December 27th of 2023 being at a price of $10.49. So that being one pivot point, and the other pivot high being the high of March March 4th of this year. So you see those two blue circles there marking those pivot points. And so we were getting rejected from that level. And just before earnings, the earnings that I was just talking about, we did move up. If I switch over to the 4-hour time frame, we went up before that earnings call. Let's see, I just got to adjust this a little bit. So here, I think it's right here, went up to $8.47, and that looks like it was in the pre-market trading just before that earnings call. So we broke above that yellow downtrend. However, we didn't see a close above 794 market hours close above 794. So that suggested to me a lot of weakness. These moves in the after hours and pre-market suggested that it could be a fake out. And, that's exactly what we saw. I'm just going to get back over here so we can see that. That is right here. So we saw the high on the day being $7.90. Effectively, we got rejected from that yellow line. We got up to it in the after hours and pre-market trading, but couldn't get up to it during market hours. We broke down. And then again, coming up here on May 14th, we hit a high of $7.64 on the day, but got rejected from that yellow downtrend. However, the next day we opened up right around the same level, but closed well below it. Looked bearish, we couldn't hold that level. We got rejected from it yet again. And then over here, very interesting, on June 12th, we get this massive move to the upside, hitting a high of $7.43. And, we couldn't hold it. We got this inverted hammer candle. That would be, I believe, a shooting star I believe that's a shooting star pattern. This inverted hammer candle, big wick to the upside, representing more than 50% of the trading for that day, and a close in the bottom quarter of the trading. That is a topping signal, and that is exactly what we saw on the 12th. When we went up 1% that day, we actually closed above that yellow downtrend. But the following trading day, on the 13th, we came down nearly 4% on the day, opening above that yellow line, but closing well above it, followed by a gap down. Over the course of those two trading days, we came down 9%. And, it's just kind of consolidated to the side since we have had this massive down move. And actually, if we go from the high here down to the low over there, that's down nearly 14%, coming down to the low of $6.20. That's 16.5% to the downside. A pretty big down move followed by sideways consolidation. That makes me think that this is a bear flag. And also, I wanted to put out a video over the weekend, but I felt like, this is green. So maybe on Friday, the 28th, maybe we see a continuation into Monday and we break out above it. I don't want to put out a video and be wrong because everybody's going to hate me for it. And I also don't want to put out a video and say that price is going to come down about 3% on Monday. I actually brought this up in the Discord. I'm going to have to pull this up and throw it up right here to show you guys. I predicted this down move of about 3%, but people would hate me for it, just like people are going to hate me for saying that price is coming down to $6 a share and that price might be coming down even lower to fill the secondary gap at $5.41. But, that's just the charts. The charts are telling me that there's another rejection from this key downtrend. We've got another bear flag that has been formed after a massive down move, a massive fake out break and rejection from this downtrend. And we get this pretty big relative to the prices that we've been trading in, a pretty big down move on the day. So, I leave it up to you. What do you think? Do you think this is finally going to break out from this downtrend? Or do you think we're finally going to fill those gaps to the downside, which would represent some great dip buying opportunities at $6 a share or right around $5.50? And so that is what I am leaning towards. I, of course, am biased. I have been keeping my eye on these gaps for quite some time, but now the chart is telling me that it is time But, I leave that up to you. Hopefully this video was helpful. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching, and good luck trading SoFi. Take care.